We are now in the business end of the season, which means that this is the point where everything can be won or lost in just one game. Every game is now win or bust, and every competition is now unforgivable. In this period, teams need their best players to step up, and some of them have started to do exactly that. It is those guys we are here to talk about in this video today. These are 7 players who are entering beast mode at the perfect time. We'll start with Marcus Rashford. With Raphinha out injured and not expected back until May, Barcelona are missing one very vital player who would have contributed greatly in this final stretch of the season. Raphinha is one of the club's best players, and he elevates them so much with his energy, goals and assists. The moment he picked up an injury during the international break, it became extra important for Rashford to step up, and the Englishman seems to be doing exactly that. He showed flashes of brilliance during the international break with England, and in his first game back with Barcelona, he scored a goal against Atletico Madrid to inspire a comeback and help the Blaugranas extend their lead at the top of La Liga to 7 points. Rashford was hot at the beginning of the season, but he got cold somewhere along the line. But well, it looks like he's getting hot again at just the perfect time. But here's the thing, he's not even the only Barcelona player who's entering beast mode at the perfect time. Can you guess who the other guy is? Take a shot in the comments, we'll see if you're right soon. While you're there, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Now back to the video. Let's talk about Vini. La Liga may just have gotten extra difficult for Real Madrid, but surely the UEFA Champions League is still in play, and you know that that's one competition where Vini truly shines, so it is definitely incredible news that the Brazilian is entering beast mode at this time of the season. The winger has been directly involved in 6 goals in his last 10 games, and you know what's even better news? Most of those goals have come in big games against Manchester City and Atletico Madrid. Now that we're entering a period where every game is a big game, this is surely the version of Vini that Real Madrid would love to have. He struggled earlier in the season, especially under Xabi Alonso, but under the new manager, he has started to show the world how dangerous he can be, and what we're seeing right now is very similar to what we saw from Vini in 2024. He returned from injury in the second half of the season and entered into beast mode just ahead of the knockout rounds, and well, you know how things ended. 2 goals against Bayern Munich, 1 in the final, the Champions League trophy, Best Player Award and the Best FIFA Men's Award. When you remember how things went just a couple years ago, it is surely great news for Real Madrid fans to see Vini entering beast mode at this time of the season once again. And speaking of world-class left-wingers, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia is also entering beast mode at the right time. For most of the season, he was rather underwhelming. He scored just 3 league goals in the first 6 months of the season, and a lot was being said about him. But since we entered into the knockout rounds of the Champions League, the Georgian seems to have entered into a different level. Kvara has earned a reputation for saving his best self for the big moments, and it appears that that is exactly what he's doing this season as well. He has been directly involved in 8 goals in his last 10 matches, and those include 4 goal contributions against Chelsea in the round of 16. He might have been average all season, but PSG are definitely happy that Kvara is entering beast mode at this time of the season. Another player who certainly belongs on this list is Federico Valverde. We all know him to be a relentless and hard-working player, but the Uruguayan midfielder has been adding goals to his game recently, and that could not have come at a better time. Believe it or not, Valverde has been involved in 10 goals in his last 10 appearances. This is after having been involved in 7 in the 20 games before that. This shows that the midfielder has really started to be amongst the goals, and the timing could not have been more perfect. On days when the attackers seem to have been completely marked out of the game, having a guy who can get a goal from midfield can be very crucial, especially in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, when games are expected to be very tight. This is exactly why we say that Valverde is entering beast mode at the perfect time. Now, remember we said that there's another Barcelona player on this list? It is Robert Lewandowski. The Polish striker experienced a massive fall-off this season. For much of the campaign, he found it difficult to find the back of the net and properly affect the game like he used to do. But in recent weeks, he seems to be getting those goal instincts back and is entering into beast mode once again. He has now scored 4 goals in his last 5 games, a massive improvement from 4 in the previous 15. As they look to close out La Liga and also try to secure the Champions League for the first time in over a decade, Barcelona desperately need a man up front who is regularly converting chances, which is why the timing of Lewandowski's return to form could not be better. And you know, with strikers, especially seasoned ones like Lewandowski, the more they score, the more confident they become. so this is certainly great news for Barcelona heading into the most crucial period of the season. Another striker who certainly belongs on this list is Erling Harland. Manchester City have missed out on the Champions League, but that is now behind them. Their aim now is to win every other trophy they are currently in. They have already secured the EFL Cup, and in their bid to win the other two, they must be grateful that Erling Harland is now entering beast mode. The Norwegian was off his game for a large part of the season after a very good start, but he now seems to be getting back to it. He has been directly involved in 8 goals in his last 10 games, but of course, the biggest indication of his new turn of form is his hat-trick against Liverpool in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. With City looking to mount a proper title push and topple Arsenal in the final few weeks of the season, an in-form Harland certainly boosts their confidence massively, so it is surely safe to say that the striker is entering beast mode at just the perfect time. On the flip side, Viktor Gyökeres is also entering beast mode at the perfect time. A lot has been said about the Swede since he moved to Arsenal in the summer, but he is now really enjoying himself of late. Arsenal have stumbled over the past couple weeks, having lost the EFL Cup to Man City and gotten themselves knocked out of the FA Cup at the hands of 2nd Division Southampton. What that means is that right now all their eggs are in the Premier League and Champions League baskets, and they'll be trying to ensure that they don't end the season trophyless. If they are going to end this season with silverware, they must have someone who's converting chances and banging in goals, and that is exactly what Gyökeres has started to do recently. He has scored 6 goals in his last 6 matches, a huge improvement from 2 goals in the 8 games before that. He came off the bench to score for Arsenal against Everton and Southampton, and on top of that, he almost single-handedly carried his country to the World Cup over the international break, so his confidence is at an all-time high right now. The timing of that is just perfect, and in this dark period, Arsenal fans will probably be looking at that as a massive positive. Now, are there more players you think are entering beast mode at just the right time? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye.
Hey Goal 90 family, what's good? The World Cup season is here and you already know the vibes on this channel. So for everyone who's been rocking with us, Goal 90 Shop has World Cup jerseys for the whole squad. Men, women and kids. Whatever country you're repping, we've got ya. Home kits, away kits, clean classics and the loud ones. Instant match day energy. And it's love from us. Free shipping worldwide. Grab yours now and Hey Goal 90 family, what's good? The World Cup season is here and you already know the vibes on this channel. So for everyone who's been rocking with us, Goal 90 Shop has World Cup jerseys for the whole squad. Men, women and kids. Whatever country you're repping, we've got ya. Home kits, away kits, clean classics and the loud ones. Instant match day energy. And it's love from us. Free shipping worldwide. Grab yours now and let's run this tournament together.